They told me boys don't cry or play with Barbies. So my whole life I've tried my hardest to be the man that they wanted me to be.
Day 4 prompts. Fantasy AU courting Trust Me. TsukiHina. 21 Archmage Hina accidentally courting 26 Knight Tsuki at first meet. Tsukishima Kei was the kingdom's head strategist as well as the second best knight after the king himself. Who is this king, you ask? Sawamura Daichi. The same Sawamura Daichi who was Shoya's teacher's husband. Oh, Shokun, you've never been inside the palace, haven't you? Yep, I wonder how cool it is. I just want to blow up fireworks in your practice area, Kushi-sama. Oh, shush you. I told you to call me Kushi, Shokun. We're only 5 years apart. But you're my teacher and the male queen, Kushi-sama. It simply shouldn't be. Fine. But come on. The king would be there. I haven't seen him because of duties and work and more duties. The king? Kushi-sama, you should have told me in advance. I already set up the fireworks spell that would blow when we reach the practice area. Oh dear. Daichi's going to be surprised. The two most powerful mages in the kingdom continued off into the deeper part of the palace to a private practice room. Once the mages stepped into the room, Shoya's spell went off and swirled around the two figures before going up and bursting into colors. Goshi, that wasn't pleasant. My king, you should know I am not one bit pleasant. Shoya and Koshi made their way to the two figures at the middle of the area and bowed. I greet your majesty. Greetings, my king. Daichi just nodded his head in acknowledgement. Oh, Keiken, what brings you outside your office? And head strategist, I am such a fan. The blonde narrowed his eyes and glared down at him. I did not know kids were allowed in the practice rooms. I am not a kid! Prove it. Oh joy, Tsukishima, really? Show up, Shokun. This room can withstand any attacks from me. I really want to show this off if it's all fine. I made a stronger spell that I wanted to dedicate to the head strategist. Shoya took a step back and fiddled with his thumbs as ancient symbols surrounded him. Show it first. I don't like kids, but I can make an exception. I said I'm not a kid! The symbols fluctuated haphazardly with his anger and compacted into one magic circle that went above Tsukishima. Ready? As always. Shoya grinned wildly as the magic circle traveled directly to the floor, surrounding Tsukishima's body with a blue glow as it went. That's all? No! I'm the Archmage! What do you mean that's all? Koshi-sama, can I ask you to cast attack spells to Tsukishima-san? Me? But It's safe? I don't want another of my knight injured, Hinata. Nishinoya did enough magic damage to Asahi the last time. I'm sure of it. I went against a dragon's fire wearing this and I'm still alive. A dragon's... dragon? Like the dragon who went missing earlier this week? Sorry about that. I forgot to report that I already killed it and froze it. Shoyo! You know that you should report any activity you've done. I know. I'm sorry. I was just really happy that my spell worked. So would you please shoot at Tsukishima-san, Koshi-sama? Alright, it would be fun. Fun. Daichi-san, the male queen, just said shooting spells at me is fun. Shooting spells at a target without any consequence is such a thrill, Tsukishima-san. A thrill? I'm glad you guys are on our side. I'll be shooting now. Shoya retreated to where Daichi was and casted a defense spell and tripled it, because Koshi wasn't the strongest mage for no reason. Tsukishima-san, I do hope you won't call me a kid after this. We'll see. A blast cut off the rest of the blonde sentence and explosions engulfed the practice area. Koshi didn't stop there as he increased his spells, which took off continuously at the blonde. The only sign that the blonde was still there was the blue glow around his body that shone through the smoke at times. Moo! Shoyo, I love the new spell! Koshi stopped his attacks and Shoyo immediately cast a vacuum spell to clean up the smoke and debris. Tsukishima-san, am I still a kid? Your spell is incredible. I didn't feel any of it. It repelled attacks and I couldn't even smell the smoke around me. You're a genius. Thanks! I was creating this spell because I knew you'd be going in the front lines to strategize while fighting, and what if suddenly there's an ambush and you won't be able to defend yourself? The kingdom would be at a loss of their head strategists, and you saved my dad in the last war. I was 16 in the last war. And you suggested to chop the enemies before sending out the battalion my father was in. I wanted to make it up to you by this. I don't know what to say. How about taking him up on that date, Tsukishima? Date? What do you mean date? Huh. Shokun, if a mage dedicates a spell to someone, that's their way of saying they love them. First time I've heard of it. It's from 100 years ago when the king then, who was a mage, dedicated the first defense spell to his night male queen. It became the origin of mages creating all sorts of spells to court their prospects. What? So you're courting me? How sweet. I seriously didn't mean to. I don't know of this. But I'd like to take you out on a date. Pity. Guess you'll have to follow through. What? I'll be picking you up from the magic tower tomorrow night, just for the festival, Shogun. And that is how a 21-year-old mage landed a date with a 26-year-old knight. They got married 3 years down the line and they won every war after. Because seriously, what else could break Shoyo's defense spell?